Alright, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we'd like to begin this lesson by giving all glory, all honor, and all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Racha Kodash, giving double honors, double unto the apostles and elders of great millstone who surely do rule well. To the men standing by the highways and byways pushing this doctrine, we'd like to say Shalom. And even unto the sincere Akwat, the sisters who sit listening these lessons in silence, subjection, and obedience unto their husbands, we'd like to say Shalom.
Shalom.
But a couple brothers here gathered together from the hills of Yahushai Camp, brother
Isaiah.
Brother Maya Shala. And the topic for today, we're going to go into the word of the day for March 12, 2026. Right? March 12, 2026. The word here is Gambit. Sorry for the noise I might be hearing in the background. What it means: a gambit is something done or said in order to gain an advantage or to produce a desired effect. The workers' opening gambit in the negotiations was to demand a wage hike. No examples, now the book public, blah blah blah. We can read that. We could go into the did you know. Don't let the similarities of sound and general flavor between gambit and gamble trip you up. The two words are unrelated. Gambit first appeared in English in a 1656, if Salak, if you could pull it up in the online etymology. First appeared in English in 1656 in a 1656 chess handbook that was said to feature almost 100 illustrated gambits. Gambit traces back first to the Spanish word gambito, and before that to the Italian word gambetto. From gamba meaning leg, gambetto referred to the act of tripping someone. Psalms, the net in which thou hast said is thy own foot taken, right? You see just now, tripping someone as in wrestling in order to gain an advantage. In chess, gambit or gambit, as it was once spelled, originally referred to a chess opening whereby the bishop's pawn is intentionally sacrificed or tripped to gain an advantage in position. Gambit is now applied to many other chess openings, but after being pinned down for years, it is also finally broke free of chess's hold and is used generally to refer to any move, whether literal or rhetorical, done to get a leg up, so to speak. While such moves can be risky, and we're going to show you the risks Esau taken by trying to pull this gambit. Gambit is not synonymous with gamble, which likely comes from Old English gamen, meaning amusement, jest, pastime, source two of game, right? We'll go into the online etymology and then we're going to go into the scriptures.
I didn't know. Yeah, it's gambit. Gambit now. Salakia. Chess opening in which a pawn or piece is risked for advantage later. 1650s gambit from Italian gambetto, literally a tripping up, as a trick in wrestling from gamba leg, from late Latin gamba, horse hook or leg. Applied to chess openings in Spanish in 1561 by Ruy Lopez, who traced it to the Italian word, but the form in Spanish generally was gambito, which led to French gambit, which has influenced the English spelling of the word. The broader sense of opening move to meant to gain advantage in English is recorded from 1855.
Right? Now, Esau has a gambit that he's trying to pull on the entire face of the earth, right?
In order to implement
his micro CHEP RFID Revelation 13:16. We're gonna get into it. If you could get the one in Revelation, which says deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of his miracles.
Right. Revelation 13, read in verse
15, I think that is.
No, I think that is 14.
14, right? Before we go into that, 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices within this new EMP to keep Satan from taking advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his schemes, right? So we know the gambit Esau is trying to pull, as the brother beautifully brought it out and put it into words before we have started this video. Jacob's trouble, as Revelation 12:12 puts it, if you could get out real quick, is Esau's gambit on the earth to try to implement what we're going to read about in this Revelation 13 verse 16. From verse 14 going down.
Because Esau Edom trying to place the world in such a dystopian way, which if we're going to a dystopian society, right? So I'll just get that quickly before we continue. I could just get dystopian and I'm get some online.
Look, dystopia. Try that.
Dystopia.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. Just now, I like that. I like that word. Because what people don't understand is the world going to shit in it right before your fucking eyes. I'm just telling you about it. And we go even get in the Jeremiah 30 from verse 4 going down. The world going to shit. And we told you this was going to happen. Go ahead.
Dystopia is a known imaginary bad place from 1952. From this bad, abnormal, plus ending abstracted from utopia, earlier in medical use, displacement of an organ. By 1844, with second element from Greek topos, place, see topos, dystopian was used in a non-medical sense by 1868 by J.S. Mill. See if there's anything else.
We go to the word this.
Yeah, the first word in dystopia. It says this word forming element meaning bad, ill, hard, difficult, abnormal, imperfect, from Greek this inseparable prefix, destroying the good sense of a word or increasing its bad sense. Liddell and Scott, hence bad, hard, unlucky, from pi root and prefix.
The word is a prefix, right?
Thus, bad, ill, evil, right? So it's a prefix meaning evil. And utopia, short for utopia, goes into place, a dwelling place, right?
So place of evil.
Yeah, place of evil. Esau Edom, the wicked man, right? Psalms 12 and 8, the wicked walk on every side when the violence of men are exalted, right? He's attempting to place us into a dystopian society in order to play the gambit, which I hear that term twice before. Queen's Gambit. I think I hear it twice. Queen's Gambit and Charles Gambit. So I'm German right now.
Yeah.
What does Queen Gambit mean?
I'll even because I just had two precepts as well I would like to bring out in terms of describing what we could expect or what can be the scene at the face of the earth for Esau to be able to pull off this plan that he has. Because again, Jacob's trouble, because the thing is, in fact, we'll even get into that when you're done. Because again, seeing that it speaks of what a bad place going into evil, we know all the evil that is done in the earth is of the will of Yahweh and is his doing. Again, Ezekiel 9. He goes into it. He said, cause them that have charge over the city to come near every man with his what? Destroying weapon in his hand. We know those men were speaking of angels. And when you go to the book of Sirach chapter 39 and go from verses 28 go on down to 31, we know their means of destruction. They could plunge our society into chaos by the flick of their hand. At the will or the whim and fancy of Yahweh, we even saw it happen. 1 Chronicles 21 from 1, an angel, as a result of David's sin for judgment and for the Lord to bring judgment on the house of Israel, that angel eventually killed how much people? 70,000 men. And if it was not for David begging the Lord, that angel wouldn't have lifted his hand. So here's the thing. Esau knows the Lord. Again, with this Revelation 12, he knows that he had but a short time, because he knows the Lord is ready to transfer ownership and rulership over to the man who should have it, which is whom? Yahushua, right? Being that is the case, and Esau knows that he has but a short time, and knows that before he goes out, the earth has to be plunged into chaos. He's trying to take as many people down with him as possible. With his misery loves company. he knows he deserves that lake of fire, and he's going to try and take as many people with him as he possibly can, as pursuant to that Revelation 13:16 by our Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so I know I did hear these two terms before, which is the Queen's Gambit, which the Queen's Gambit is a chess move.
Right.
And then I know I heard the term Charles Gambit before, right? So I'm looking at Charles Gambit. Charles Gambit most commonly refers to one of three things, depending on whether you're looking at movies, history, or chess. Well, when I go to the chess, I mean the history aspect, it says the King Charles Gambit, legal/political history. It says in the world of international law and political science, which you know is politicians, right? Most more synonymous with the bankers, right? The rich elite bankers, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. Them is the true politicians at the end. You ain't seeing them. The King Charles Gambit refers to a specific strategy of defiance against authority.
Whose authority? Ultimately, Esau is going to go against the authority of the Most High with the dastardly plans that he has. Right, go ahead.
Right. So now,
so like you ain't going to the Queen's Gambit? Forget that.
Queen's Gambit is just a chess move.
Right. You know, Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, the same Satan we spoke about in it was 2 Corinthians 2:11, right? Is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And this great wrath that he's getting ready to send upon the face of the earth, we could see signs of it already playing off in the earth. We see what's going on with World War III. We even did videos on it. World War III was spoken about in the Bible, and you best believe it's going to happen upon the face of the earth.
You see certain things like the closing of the Strait of Hormuz, which affects oil prices, which affects gas prices, which affects food prices, which affects famine.
Because what?
You see, the brother Kawawa would show you a video last night of the amount of people lining up to fill up with gas, and the fears that gas prices would skyrocket. Right? That's going to lead to a skyrocketing in everything, which is going to lead to famine, which is going to lead to, uproars of people.
Which is what Esau gambiting on.
Yeah, he gambiting on the uproars of people to come and bring the Savior to you, which is his MOTB. Right, so continuing. So like going back now to Revelation 13.
And from 14.
And verse 14. It says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. Saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. And he deceives those unconverted ones who inhabit the earth into believing him, because of the signs which he is given by Satan to perform in the presence of the first beast, telling those who inhabit the earth to make an image to the beast who was wounded fatally by the sword and has come back to life.
Which what we see here, deceiving them by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. Now those miracles manifest themselves into many different things on the face of the earth today. But my favorite really is to go into the ultimate miracle he's trying to work, which is he's trying to play God, Revelation 13:16. Because when you receive that mark, we went into it many a times already in many videos we would have did on the mark of the beast, which my favorite I like to go into is that Elon Tusk, which is what? The Neuralink, right? We even went into the RFID technology, which when you look at what RFID is capable of doing and you look at what the mark of the beast is said to do, you're seeing that they have similar characteristics. What they are going to do is they're going to plunge the world into utter chaos, because again, he's a violent man. Power was given unto him to do what? Take peace from the earth. And through his taking of peace from the earth, he's going to bring what? The so-called answers to the shit that he caused, right? He's going to try to trick people into believing that he's the Most High God, as the 2 Thessalonians puts it.
Order through chaos.
Order through chaos. They 2 Thessalonians 2.
I think what they deceive before we go on.
Yeah.
Deceive it. When I went into that word deceive it, it says cause astray to lead astray, lead aside from the right way, to go astray, wander roam about, metaphorically, to lead away from the truth, to lead into error, to deceive, to be led into error, to be led aside from the path of virtue, to go astray, sin, to sever or fall away from the truth of heretics, to be led away into error and sin, which this is what he's going to do. He's going to deceive the world into error and sin.
Because that taking that mark of the beast in Revelation 13 and 16 is a sin. 16 to 18, 2 Thessalonians 2 from verse 3. Here's the exhortation Paul gives, right? Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Who was the man prophesied to be revealed? Esau and Edom. I have made Esau obey. Right? Jeremiah 49:10. Who opposed and exalted himself above all that is called power or that is worship, so that he as power sitteth in the temple of power, which is your body, showing himself that he is power. So what? This is the ultimate gambit he's trying to make. He hopes that the world will go into utter chaos, which he's going to cause, right? To trick people into believing that the solutions for the shit that they find themselves in as a result of the shit that he has done is what? Is that he is going to be able to fix it. He has the miracles. He deceived them in the that dwell upon the earth by the means of the miracles he was able to work, right? Going now, verses 8, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and destroy with the brightness of his coming, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with what? With all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. I want to read this in the AMP. The coming of the Antichrist is the lawless. The coming of the Antichrist, the lawless one, is through the activity of Satan, which the Antichrist, there are many Antichrists. John went into this, 1 John chapter 2 from verse 18, right? So the Antichrist is just not one sole figure, but it's anybody who is against the teaching and preaching of the Hawashai Mashiach. Your Christian pastor is an Antichrist. All these presidents and prime ministers they're watching is an Antichrist.
John gave the definition or the characteristics you need to exhibit to be an Antichrist. Anybody could fall under being an Antichrist.
And we know this man definitely falls under it, because again verse 4 tells you, who opposed and exalted himself above all that is called God. Was not Yahushua called God in John chapter 1? Esau is an Antichrist. Naturally, right? The one is through the activity of Satan attended with great power. So what he operates instead of Satan on the earth today. When we first saw Satan step on the scene, that was recorded in the Bible, 1 Chronicles 21 and from verse 1. Who did Satan stand against? He stood against the people of Israel. Caused them to sin, or caused King David to sin, rather provoking him to number the children of Israel. And they did what? At the end of all that, what did that cause? The judgment of the nation of Israel. That is ultimately how Esau operates, because what? With his Revelation 12 and 10, the accuser of our brethren is cast down, who accused them day and night before power. This is how Satan operates, and this is how the physical counterpart of Satan, Esau, operates in the earth today. With great power, all kinds of counterfeit miracles, so it's not real, it just seems to be real, right? And deceptive signs and false wonders, all of them lies. A perfect example of this we could look at is transgender people. It's not even dealing with the mark of the beast, because that signs, that lie and wonders, them miracles, the way he's able to deceive the earth, it even going on even before the mark of the beast even comes into the earth in a prophetic sense, because we know the mark of the beast is already here. Else how could Revelation 14 and 9 happen?
Yeah, the utter what's rolling out.
Right.
Them transformers and they've been deceived into transforming.
And what they believe it's real. A man who is born a man thinks he's a woman and believes he's a woman because of all the bullshit they put in the food and fucking with people's minds and their hormones. And then what? He gets his plumbing removed, and then actually believes he's a woman. is that not with all power and signs and lying wonders and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness, because that is unrighteous in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth. Because again, if you did receive the love of the truth, you won't do that shit to yourself. So what they are deceiving the everybody that dwell on the whole compass of the earth, again, voting inhabitants of them that dwell in the earth, because what the devil is coming down unto you having great wrath. This is manifesting itself in many ways, and the ultimate way it is said to manifest itself is what? In that time of Jacob's trouble, right? Because what? Before Revelation 13 and 16 goes into play, I don't know if you had some there.
Jacob's trouble, I'm going to.
Yeah, go from verse 4 by Shot. I have some here for you in Ezra. Because before that mark of the beast gets implemented, we seeing there needs to be signs of the World War III wars and rumors of wars that we currently going into is a hot topic because of the situation between Iran and Israel right now. All of that going to play into it, because again the earth needs to be plunged into chaos, and then there needs to be a supposed savior who's not Yahweh, because even Yahweh would have said it. Let not any man deceive you by any means. So no, that was 2 Thessalonians. In the same Matthew 24, you would have said, there will be many that will come in his name saying, Lo is Mashiach, and there. So what? There need to be people who are going to come in the earth in these last days and make non-believers believe that they're seeing the Son of Power, or they're seeing the work of power in the earth, right? So they think that when the world going to shit, it have somebody who could help them. But nobody is coming to help you. The only man who's going to come and fix this shit is Yahweh, and he's coming at the end of it all. Where Yahweh say, when you see all these things, all these wars, these rumors arose, and all this tribulation, we said the end is not yet. The end is not here until Yahweh comes down again. Not Revelation, 1 Corinthians 15. Then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to power, Yahweh, even the Father. So the end is when Yahweh shows up, not before that. But these people are going to make you believe is the end of the world, and going to make you believe that they are the saviors of this world.
Even over here, there's Project Bluebeam. I look up Project Bluebeam on Gemini. It says Project Bluebeam is a widespread conspiracy theory that originated in the mid-1900s.
Mid-1990s.
Mid-1990s. It was first proposed by Quebecois investigative journalist Serge Monast, who claimed that NASA and the United Nations are collaborating to establish a new world order. According to the theory, the plan involves using advanced technology to deceive the global population into accepting a unified world government and a single global religion.
Which is what the ultimate form of the beast system, because what, as we always go into, as the elders and apostles always going to be in them stead as well, what? The technocracy. This whole thing going to go to a state of serious madness in the earth. People really going to believe that they're going to see things in the sky, and believe that them things are seen in the sky is actually where it is, right? And they're going to believe for all the counterfeit signs and all the counterfeit miracles that these people able to perform, they're going to go and willingly partake in our Revelation 13, 16 to 18. Michael, go ahead. Because again, we need to understand how the world going to look for these people, these powers that be, to be able to do this. The world is going to look, as you bring out, in a dystopian state. Is that dystopia we heading to? Right?
Go to 9 first. Go to 9.
9?
9. No. So let's go right there. But that one in chapter 9.
The old coins are I could read this verse here. Second is verse 9, and reading from verse 1. He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And again, good. Because what we know, when the Lord visits, he visits with judgment.
And that's beautiful, because all of this, the earth being run into a dystopian state, all evil are the Lord in it.
Yeah.
But these people have themselves to believe that they're going to be at the helm of it. No. The time in which you all choose to instigate your plan of bringing the world into a dystopia is a time which the Lord had set within your heart. Right? Because all of this is the Lord's doing. They are being deceived into believing that all of this is there. Do you know this is the Lord's doing? The Lord is going to plunge you into this dystopian state, but He's using you.
Amber and power was given unto him to take peace from the earth. Well, if you have the power to take peace from the earth and it was given to you, who had it first? The one who gave it.
Yeah, I'm saying first, He have it all the time.
He who let it will let until he be taken out of the way. You need being allowed to do this. But go ahead.
Verse
3, right? Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High Yahweh spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world had a beginning and an end, the end is manifest, revealed. Even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonderful and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs. So the same way they're going to have the counterfeit signs and miracles, the Most High is going to allow them to do this. Why? Because the Lord wants to destroy a lot of you people. They second is just 16 reading from verse 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginnings of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. So they're not going to be aware, or they're not going to come to the mind that this is actually judgment from the Lord and that they deserve this, but they're going to think what? Or they're not always going to be mindful of these things. So what they're going to think, the world going to shit, who's going to help us? And the minute they see somebody coming with the answers, even though it's not really the answers, it just look like the answers, they're going to jump right into that person's hand. What? They're going to fall for the gambit. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth. So even while you're looking at it from this aspect, that financially the world is not as hard as we've been grown accustomed to, while you're looking and seeing that, you probably get financial ease, quote unquote, on the next side, on the flip side of that coin, the world going to shit before your eyes. You're just in watching that. They shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men, so that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. For of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks. So what? Again, the dystopian society that the brother was talking about. Yeah, we could go ahead.
Jeremiah 30 and verse 4. From verse 4, because you have to understand, all of these things we're reading about was expressed to all the prophets, just in different manner. Yahweh talked about it in Matthew the 24th chapter. Daniel spoke about it in Daniel the 12th chapter. Ezra spoke about it through the book of 2nd Ezra, 2nd Ezra 7, 2nd Ezra 9, 2nd Ezra 15, 2nd Ezra 16, so on and so forth.
Ezekiel, chapter 7, chapter 9 to name 2.
Exactly. So all of these periods in the earth have been spoken about, and they're going to take advantage of this period to play a gambit in front of your eyes.
Because again, this is the gambit here, because they know these times coming, because they believe these prophecies.
They know that's what I have up upon ignorant ones.
Mm.
They've known this for centuries. They've known this for years. Things that have been centuries in the making, they've known it.
Mm-hmm.
And they were waiting for the specific time for it to come about. So they had a gambit ready. Yeah, that's why they went out and tried this C19 test. Because unlike the Most High, them ain't sure about what they're doing. So them had to do something to make sure,
that they run the rehearsal.
yeah,
That to run the rehearsal to see how it would play off.
If you plunge you into a state like this, would they conform? Would they listen to us? And lo and behold, the majority did.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I was looking at. Would these people do that? And now they know this on the cards, this on the horizon. So now they have another ace up the sleeve.
Quick plug, that just real quick.
Right.
Matthew 24, and it's verse 24. For there shall arise false Mashiach Yom. Example, if the doctors, the scientists, using again the perfect example in our call it, that's C19. And that time when the vid was going wrong and they had everybody head up the ass, and everybody they believe everything they were seeing on TV, and they believe what they were saying was true. What? Who was marketed? Who was labeled as your Christ figures, the ones who would save you all if you just listen to us? The doctors, the scientists, Bill Snakes and them kind of fellas, the technocrats. They had technocrats working on a vaccine to help you. Why? Why the marketing these type of people who could hack into your biological structure in your body and say that they are the ones who are going to save you? Because they are actually the ones who are going to destroy you. If you listen to them, that revelation to them fellas gonna have a big part to play in that future prophecy to go on. Because them is the ones who able to do it. With again, power was given unto him. Who have the power in these days to mess with your body biologically? The scientists. The Lord gave Esau that power. And what you all conformed in that time. But again, we know in the time to come, the elect not gonna conform. Again, what I say, he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. These are Matthew 24 and verse 23. Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is Mashiach, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Mashiach Yom, false saviors, false messiahs, and false prophets, people who are going to tell you about these people and to listen to them. Example, the IUIC. They tell the whole congregation, hey, go, don't mean telling you take it. But if they threaten you walk, and they say you can't walk,
Don't come to me.
Don't come to me for help. False prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, and all the madness the world heading into. A man gone freaking try to change himself into a duck, and gonna see you gonna be able to do it, and what that gonna be something wonderful to them, something they're gonna wonder at, right? In so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect, and that is ultimate Gambit day. Esau believes that with all the shit that the world going to be in, and with all the miracles and counterfeit signs, he's going to be able to show the people that what? They're going to try and pull away some of the elect. But we know again, the elect will not be deceived. That's why I say if it were possible is a trick question, because again, I have reserved 7,000 men unto me, a complete number of men by the thousands, even more than, because John even said it was an innumerable multitude, one he couldn't number. He said what? They shall never bow the knee to the image of Baal. They're not going to bow the knee to the image of the beast in these last days. But I could go ahead.
Jeremiah 30 and verse 4, it says, and these are the words that the Lord Yahweh Shai spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah.
Right.
For thus says the Lord Yahweh Shai, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear and not of peace. Ask ye now and see whether a man do travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Right? And this is where they're hoping for to play that gambit. But the gambit is not just for can I get the Revelation 13?
Yeah, no, go ahead. If you have something before that.
No, go ahead, because the gambit is not just I took my precept to close with the Revelation 13.
Yeah.
Psalms 2 and 1. Because the gambit is not just deceive us. Is a gambit they also playing to maintain their rulership. As Psalms the 49 chapter which says it. The inward thought is that their house, right? The inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, even unto all generations. Right? So them want to extend the rule past the bounds of the Most High set it to be. Right? So you see in here Psalms the 2nd chapter and verse 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? All of these things which the Lord is who set to bring upon the earth. Them imagining a vain thing for it to be of their profit, but it's not for their profit. It's for their destruction. The kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. So let us remove ourselves from underneath the rule of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. That's what this gambit is for as well. That is what Satan convincing them that, hey, if you all do this, which was the Lord said to do it, and then you do this, which the Lord said them to do as well. So you plunge the world into dystopia, and then you bring the cure, the antidote for that dystopia. You all will maintain rulership forever. But that is a vain thing. You read verse 4 with the Lord and doing all that is taking place. He that sitteth in the heaven shall laugh. The Lord Yahweh shall have them in derision. Isn't derision going to be in derision?
Right.
I could be a very shank course.
Yeah, because ultimately, what is the desired effect? Ultimately, they're gonna get it tonight. They're gonna mark the world, just not the elect. Revelation 13:15, and he had power was given unto him to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So they had power to take life. So if you didn't bow, you would die. Right? Is is Revelation 20, real quick, verse 4.
20 and 4, yeah.
The martyrs. Well, let's speak about Revelation 24, them that will be headed for the witness of Yahweh Shai. But I think it have a Revelation.
Same martyrs.
Yeah, it's same martyrs. It's Revelation 17:6. Yeah, just reading it real quick. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahweh Shai. Why were they martyred? Because what, they didn't bow to the beast, right? And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. So again, being martyred, why? Because what? As would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Revelations even speak about they love not their lives unto death, right? Verse 16, and he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, which is his gambit, his desired effect, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. He has wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 600, 60. I
just wanted to go in that 600, 306, and then go into the shy size stigma, G5516. When they go into the root word, it carries it back to stigma. This is the gambit here. This gambit is to make everybody subservient to them, which they believe once they do that, they've achieved all power and authority within the earth.
Yeah, the Godhead in that. That's a Thessalonians. He was sitting in the temple of power, saying that he himself is the Most High.
A mark pricked in, this stigma, G4742. A mark pricked in or branded upon the body to ancient oriental usage. Slaves and soldiers bore the name of the stamp of their master or commander, branded or pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to. So Esau went to own. And there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods.
Esau wants to be a god, and he will try to become your god through this, right?
So, Lord will, this video was edifying, and that you are edified. In closing, I'd say, Kal Halal Yamla Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Yachak Wadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of great men, so who do well. As always, we have to say Shalom unto the elect.
Shalom unto the elect.
Right, this was a couple of your brothers
Maya Shalom.
and Isaiah saying
Shalom.
Shalom. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Yeah.